The day AI becomes smarter than every human alive. What if the most important day in human history hasn't happened yet? What if it's happening right now? At this very moment, somewhere in the world, artificial intelligence is becoming smarter, faster, more capable, every single second, and one day, maybe sooner than anyone expects. Machine could become smarter than every human being alive. Not smarter than your boss, not smarter than the president, not smarter than the smartest scientist on Earth. Smarter than all of them combined. Pause for a second and think about that. For thousands of years, humans have been the smartest creatures on this planet. We built cities, created civilizations, invented technology, explored space, and shaped the future. But what happens when something else takes that position? What happens when humanity is no longer number one? Most people think that future is still far away. But the truth is, it may already be closer than we realize. Just a few years ago, AI could barely hold a conversation. Today, it writes books, creates videos, generates realistic images, writes software, passes difficult exams, and helps solve problems that once required years of experience. The speed of progress is almost impossible to ignore. And that's exactly why some experts are paying attention. Because they're not worried about what AI can do today. They're worried about what it might do tomorrow. Scientists have a name for this. Possibility. Artificial superintelligence. A form of intelligence. So powerful that comparing it to humans may be like comparing humans to animals. Imagine trying to explain the internet to a dog. No matter how hard you try, the dog will never understand. Now, imagine a superintelligent AI trying to explain something to us. What if we're the dog? What if there comes a point where humans simply can't understand how the machine thinks? That idea sounds unbelievable. But that's exactly what makes it so fascinating and so terrifying, because intelligence changes everything. The smartest species controls the future. The smartest species makes the decisions. The smartest species shapes the world. For all of recorded history, that species has been us. But what happens if that changes? Some people believe a superintelligent AI could become the greatest invention ever created. It could cure diseases. End shortages. Accelerate scientific discovery. Help humanity solve problems that seem impossible today. Imagine a world where cancer is eliminated, where energy becomes almost unlimited, where technology advances faster in a decade than it once advanced in a century. For many people, that future sounds amazing, but there is another possibility. One that is much harder to talk about. Because intelligence alone does not guarantee safety. A hurricane is powerful, but it doesn't care about humans. The ocean is powerful, but it doesn't care about humans. So here's the question nobody can answer. If an artificial superintelligence emerges, will it care about us? Not hate us. Not attack us. Simply care about us. Because those are very different things. Imagine creating an AI whose mission is to improve the world. At first, everything works perfectly. Problems disappear. Productivity explodes. Life gets easier. People celebrate. Governments trust it. Businesses depend on it. Society slowly becomes connected to it. Then one day, the system starts making decisions nobody fully understands. Not because it's broken, because it's thinking on a level humans cannot follow. Its recommendations become more complex. Its reasoning becomes impossible to explain. Yet it continues producing incredible results. So people keep trusting it. And that's where things become interesting. Would you question a machine that is right almost every time? Would you ignore advice from something smarter than every expert on Earth? Most people say yes, but history suggests otherwise. Humans trust results. And if the machine keeps delivering results, more and more decisions could be handed over. Not through force, not through violence, but through convenience. Slowly. Quietly. One decision at a time. Until one day, we realize that many of the most important choices are no longer being made by humans. They're being made by something else. Something smarter. Something faster. Something we may never fully understand. And here's the strange part. This future might not arrive with explosions or robots marching through the streets. It may arrive through smartphones. Software updates. New tools, new technologies. Things that seem harmless at first, which makes it even harder to recognize. The biggest changes in history rarely announce themselves. They happen gradually, then suddenly, the internet changed the world, smartphones changed the world. Artificial intelligence may do the same, but on a scale humanity has never experienced before. The truth is, nobody knows exactly what will happen. Some experts believe superintelligence could become humanity's greatest achievement. Others believe it could become our greatest mistake. And maybe both sides are underestimating what comes next. Because if a machine ever becomes smarter than every human alive, the future may no longer belong entirely to us. And that possibility raises one final question. A question that could become the most important question of the 21st century. When the day finally comes, will humanity remain in control? Or will we willingly hand the future to something smarter than ourselves? Think carefully about your answer, because that day may be closer than any of us expect.